This is the modified Nordic curl. So the setup for this one is something that provides some degree of cushion or comfort under the knees, so that we're not getting too much pressure on the knees. So mat, cushion, anything like that. And we're going to have the backs of our ankles anchored, ideally about the same height as the knees. So most gyms will have a setup that's appropriate for this. You could use a couch potentially. Beds maybe a little bit better because they're usually raised off the ground more. The other thing to keep in mind for this exercise, whatever you're anchoring your feet under, you do not want to have your toes pointed like tippy toe position because your calf's probably going to cramp up almost immediately. So you want to be able to pull the toes towards the shin regardless of where your feet are anchored. All right, once we're anchored down there at the feet and we're happy with the amount of softness at the knees, then we're going to get into the exercise. So arms can be crossed over or out in front, doesn't really matter where the arms are. What we're going to do is we're going to hinge at the hips. So I'm going to bend here, dipping forward, and I'm only going to go as far as I feel my hamstrings are going to allow. So maybe that's it. Maybe not even that much. Everyone's going to be a bit different there. But over time, as your hamstrings strengthen, you're going to start to progress till you get your head very close, if not lightly touching the ground, and then coming back up. Now, the way that we manipulate or modulate the intensity of this exercise, it's where are your hips or your pelvis located in space. So if I keep my butt back towards my heels, then I'm not even doing any work in the hamstrings really at all. So it's about shifting the weight forward and finding where you feel a good amount of challenge. There's a lot of effort to come back up, but we're not letting the hips shoot back. And over time, you'll find that the hips can start getting more forward and forward. If you go too far, and just get your hands down, come out of the exercise, and then don't go as far forward on the next one. If your hamstrings or your calf does cramp when you're in the middle of it, just sit back and maybe get your leg out, stretch it out, whatever you got to do. So there is cramping that is fairly common in this exercise. You just want to keep that in mind before you get into it. That is the modified Nordic curl.